All right. What's up, YouTube? What's up, CTM? What is happening, everybody? If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are not, welcome back. Once again, I forgot to turn off my phone. Apologies. All right, so today is Sunday. It is time for the Forex market to open up. We are going to do the live FX weekly outlook. Just checking to make sure everything is going okay on my end. Looks like everything is up and running as should be. So let's get it on. I'm gonna look at the USD Mexican real quick, as Ace is not going to be able to join us, I guess. So I'm going to look at this real fast for him, show him what I'm looking at. Let's see what we got going on here. First of all, let's get rid of this thing because that's not important anymore. You did get a breakdown below daily support. The reason I have this level over here marked instead of this lower push right there is because you immediately traded back out of it on a daily closing basis, and you traded back down and checked it. Okay, mic up. All right. Sorry, I was interrupted just a bit. Let me turn the mic up just a hair. So let's see what we got right there. Excuse me. All right, so here we go. Back to the USD Mexican. You can see after we took out this support level, this bearish candle's opening or closing price right there, you immediately traded back out of it over here. I'm sorry, this is what we were looking at. So you also tested that area as support multiple times, and then you traded up. So this is what you get usually when markets are putting in a trap. You had a trap to the downside. So anybody that got short on this breakout, they got smoked. Then people started to get long, and then boom, this is what you got. So the near term trend and the longer trend is down on this asset. The thing is if USD catches a bid from where it is currently sitting at the lows of the quarter, or last quarter, I should say, it's moving higher. It may catch a bounce from here. So let's go look at the DXY. So here are your lows. You can see you spent several weeks down here trading in these lows. So basically, if you just look at past price action, you can see just how strong the bears were. When we got this push up last quarter, we made a high almost on the day to the new quarter. You got a reversal to the downside. So, and the bears were absolutely flawless in pushing this thing lower. So where did they go when we got down here? Why did they stop? Well, people that are professionals, they don't like to short into support, right? They don't like to short the lows. So they basically back off, and then you get new buyers stepping into the mix, and this is why you get consolidation at a low like this for a very long time. So the DXY looks like it is trying to push out of this area. If you get that, back to the USD MXN, if you get dollar strength coming out of those lows, this may have been just another trap to the downside. You did have a big, strong bearish day, or bullish day, excuse me, on Friday, but you traded into support right there at that level. Let's get rid of that so we can open it up a bit. You did trade right down into, or right back up into this old support, now resistance. So today you're opening up a little bit strong. It looks like you're going in for another test. What I would do, if you are short, I don't know where your stop is. If your stop is just above this high, I know you're an intraday scalper like myself, so you're more than likely have your stop probably not even that high. But if this thing keeps moving up for the rest of the night into the London Open, you may get at least a run above that. But tomorrow's daily close will tell you the story. If tomorrow closes above 90158, then you definitely might want to think about exiting that position. As your trend to the downside might be coming to an end, just for the near term. All right, the US dollar is extremely bearish, especially since you got all this monetary policy that's coming out. Everybody is just printing dollar bills as quick as they can. Joe Biden wants to do another $6 trillion in stimulus for all these other governmental plans and stuff. That right there puts selling pressure on the dollar inherently, all by itself. Plus, you couple that in with the actual trend that the DXY is in and has been in since last March when we had the liquidity crisis. It's been straight down. All right, but for the last 3 quarters, we've been basically trading around anywhere from the $89 level to the $93 level. So you've just been basically trading in a range for the last 2 quarters. You're getting ready to open another quarter. So we could see a bullish push on the DXY. Let's go ahead and get out some levels. Let's go look at the weekly just real briefly and see what we got going on. We have a weekly level right here at 90 spot 832. So a push up into that, you would probably get a higher push, as there is a wick that already tested into that level. The main resistance of this whole section of the weekly price would be 91 spot 297. So next week you could see a bullish push. You may find support or resistance at this bottom line, but I could see the dollar trading all the way back up to here before sellers look to re-engage this as a short side position in their portfolios. This was just talking about the Bitcoin, how it was basically making that descending wedge pattern or whatever. Those usually break out bullish, so that's why I was talking about it this morning in this morning's upload. So yeah, if you're short the USD Mexican, make sure you have your stop situated, because it looks like you are trying to get a little bit of strength coming out of those lows, and I would expect that strength to continue at least for the next couple weeks. All right, so let's go back over here to the pound dollar. Let's get off the weekly. My computer is lagged up so bad, and I do not know why. I closed all running position or programs. So here is your weekly on the pound. You can see that these last 2 weeks have basically just been range bound and pullbacky in nature. If you go look at the quarterly chart, if you are new to the channel, we are watching this quarterly resistance level right here. Okay, that's the level that we are mainly focused on. I did take a short on the pound dollar Friday, and that short did work out. It was a near-term daily scalp. But I am looking for, if this quarter closes above this quarterly resistance over here, you could possibly see the pound dollar moving higher for a next couple quarters or so. Also, you have this trend line right there. You can see that on regular scale, you have already broken above that trend line, came back in on a retest of that trend line, and are in the process of building a trending candle. You are still trading inside of the range as far as price right now. You did just briefly take out that high, so you did actually penetrate the high. It is not an inside quarter, but it is so far making a trending quarter, as you've only taken out one side of this candle. So there it is, trending candle. We are looking for bullish trends to continue on this asset. There is log scale. On log scale, you can clearly see that this thing is just now testing that massive trend line that has held pound dollar's price for its entire lifetime that this asset's been tradable. So it is a very important trend line, and a break of a quarterly level and a hold of that level could infer more bullishness. Let me go over here and see what's going on, as I keep getting pop-ups telling me that I'm losing frames. And I am. Alright, so we'll go as long as we can go. What is up, chat? We're just getting started. Give me a moment. Let me get on with some of this other stuff, and then I will always answer as many questions as I possibly can. So here you got the euro on the quarterly. I will go back to the pound for the intraday levels. The quarterly on the euro, you are trading basically sideways. So for the last 3 quarters, or the last 2 quarters, this quarter counted, you basically made a trending move to the upside. You came back in for a retest, and now you have tested that resistance level. All right, so far you have found resistance at that point. So let's go in here to the daily and show you what that looks like. So here's what it looks like. There's your high you made before the second quarter 2021 started. You trended straight down, went back in for a retest of that quarter level, and then boom, boom, you found a low at, yep, quarter number 2. Well, if I said this was quarter number 2, I meant this was the first quarter 2021. This was quarter number 2. You've got 20, let's see, how many days is it exactly until the third quarter 2021? 16 days. So 16 days. Looks like the end of June you will start your third quarter for 2021. Is it going to be a down quarter? Is it going to be an up quarter? Right now, you have found a top. You are looking lower. You took out daily support on Friday, right? So it looks like you have set in a new trend. All right. That doesn't mean that this trend will continue. It just simply means that you have started a new trend. The trend was to the upside. You put in a high, then a low, traded back up, put in a lower high, and on this break right here was your lower low. So the near term trend is down. If you wanted to draw a little channel on that, you absolutely could do so. Something like that. And then something like this. Well, I would probably start from this right there and go from there. So there is your channel. Yep. Look for that for now to basically hold price action. So what you're going to be looking for on the euro is any push up. It could take a day, it could take 2. Whenever it finds resistance, if it finds resistance, that is when you are looking for your short side setups on the euro dollar, and you will be targeting this new wick low, as this wick low was taken out with Friday's price action. Now, I definitely do not like entering new short setups right after we took out a massive daily swing low like that, as there is a ton of what kind of stops sitting underneath this. They are sell stops. So you have a lot of willing sellers in the market at a lower price. So any big bank firm or anybody can come in and buy up all those sell orders at a lower price if they are looking for bullish continuation on this asset. I am looking for bullish continuation on this asset. It just may take a few weeks to a month to situate itself. All right, there is a main level that I will be watching. If we take out this swing low on the euro USD, then I will assume that I am wrong on expecting another bullish quarter in 2021, and we will only be looking for short side setups. And there is a level like that as well on the pound, and that level is this price right here at 1.40129. That is your quarterly, weekly, and monthly support zone. So this is a very important level. You can see when we got, this is where I got short right ahead of NFP a couple weeks ago. I mean, not short, long, apologies. A couple weeks ago, you can see you got a massive breakout above this level. That is your quarterly resistance. So far, what you've been able to do is just trade sideways up here. So this is a rounding formation. If you look at it a little bit closer, and I apologize about the lagging on the computer, you can see how you put in a high, another high, and another high. So it's about the same pattern that Bitcoin put in. It took a little bit longer on Bitcoin's pattern, but this is essentially a 3 drive topping formation, and you are witnessing a little bit of a rounding top formation. So for this week and possibly next week, we will be looking for short side setups. As I said earlier, I am already short on this asset. I took a short on Friday. We will go look at why as soon as my computer wakes up. There we go. This wick high right here, when we pushed up into this was around the New York Open. You can see this bullish candle was at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This bearish candle was 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is an hour before the New York Open. I took a short right there, and I was simply targeting this wick low right there. So once we pushed into that, my target was hit. I was instantly taken out of the trade. I moved my stop to break even. 2/3 of the position size is off the table. If we get bearish continuation, I am still in the trade. If this is a bullish push and it decides to continue up bullishly, then I will absolutely get stopped out on this account, but the other account is already long. So when I took this short, it was simply basically like a hedge, right? I'm trying to hedge off the unrealized P&L on the long pound dollar position on the other broker's account. So let's move on. Euro USD expecting the same thing. Like I said, looking for bearish continuation this week, but we will let this thing pull back and find resistance. We are not looking to short it down here at support and at the bottom of a channel that it is now currently forming. You wait for a push up in price, then you look for possible resistance, and that is when you want to execute your shorts. All right, up in here, anywhere in there. You could probably, well, you're not going to find anything on an 8-hour. I would not assume, seeing how that was a massive push real quick on Friday. There is one a little bit lower right there at one spot, 21641. That would probably be the first spot I would look. Actually, this one over here is just a tad bit lower. So you could watch that close and see if that close holds as a resistance. If this thing pushes back up, looking for sellers, then you will look to execute a short there. But it has to maintain that closing beneath this level on an 8-hour time frame at the very least. So Canadian dollar has been taking off. The loonie has been extremely strong for the last few quarters, as US oil has been on an absolute tear. And since US oil has been on an absolute tear, let's go back to the daily, CAD will get strength from that, as a lot of CAD's currency is tied in with oil, as they are a huge oil producer. So this is basically the reason why you're seeing massive CAD strength. So I'm not really expecting any CAD weakness until we start to see that in the chart. We are not seeing that in the chart. What you are seeing currently would be slightly a pullback, right? Just a pullback. You are also almost trading back down to the 50 spot on the RSI. Yes, from this point here to this point here is bearish divergence, but that's a long section of price. When I am looking for divergences on assets, I want it to be close to near term price, as that is generally what you're looking for. Also, there are a couple questions on the video that I posted this morning. While I have you here, let's go look it up. Just give me one moment. Let me pull up Baby Pips over here. I am not associated with this website in any way, shape, form, or fashion. If you are new at trading, it does have some helpful stuff in it. Let's go. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to remember exactly what I typed, so that way I can find it. Okay. One moment. All right, here, let's just do this. Let me bring this over here. Let's do this. Let's go over here. Let's do it like this. All right, so hidden bearish divergence, because a lot of people are confused. They oh no, we don't want images. A lot of people are confused as they assume what's going on Bitcoin right now is bullish divergence. I'll pull Bitcoin's chart back up over here on this other scene, and I will put us back over there. Just give me one moment, because this is important. I don't really care too much about these technical indicators, guys. When I'm looking at RSI and moving averages, I am only looking at them to see how much momentum price has going into specific price points and out of specific price points. So here is your hidden bearish divergence. So you can see when price is making lower highs, it says nothing about the lows. When price is making lower highs and the divergence indicator, RSI is making higher highs, that is hidden bearish divergence. Hidden bearish divergence is considered to be something that indicates possible trend continuation. So let's go back over here to the charts. Here you go. This is your highs. You're making lower highs, right? And on your oscillator, you're making higher highs. That's hidden bearish divergence. You are in a downtrend. As you made your all-time high, this was your lower high, your lower low taken out. You are in a downtrend, technically, only technically. All right, this doesn't mean the long-term trend, just technically on the daily, you have put in the very beginnings of a new trend. Okay, there is your hidden bearish divergence. In order to make bullish divergence, guys, on the RSI, you must be making lower highs and lower lows on price. Lower high, lower low. And then the divergence indicator, RSI, must be making higher highs and higher lows. The key here is the higher lows on Bitcoin right now. This was your capitulation wick to the downside. That was your low. Have you taken that low out with any near-term price? Absolutely not. This is hidden bearish divergence. This is what I was talking about when I said breakout imminent on Bitcoin. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is your descending wedge formation. Boom. Here is your daily breakout. This is what I'm talking about this morning before it happened. I'm looking for this to break out, set in a bullish structure, making FOMO people come in here and start buying this market up as they're going to assume this is the low on Bitcoin. We know that the trend is still down, and we as price action traders, we who are ahead of this game, know that you are not making a new high until you come all the way back up to 59,592. Anything lower than this level on Bitcoin's chart is just another lower low. So with that being said, you can take a Fibonacci retracement from that high to this low, and if you are looking for this to push higher, you wait for it to come back down, find support. If you're looking for bullish entries, you find support, then you can look to enter long positions, and you would only be targeting roughly 44,796, as that is the 50% marker of this retracement of this downtrend, and the 618, which is 48,287. At that point, I suggest you take profits, move stops to break even, as I still expect some selling pressure up at these prices. All right, and the reason why is because anybody that got long on Bitcoin down here that did not sell in this push lower, because I and most people that know these markets, we do not sell when panic selling is going on, because we know there will eventually be a bounce. So this bounce, a lot of investors that are in down here may look to exit their positions. I don't know that that's what's going to happen. I am only saying please be aware of what might possibly happen and position yourself to make the best decisions possible, knowing that that may occur. And that's simply it. That is simply it, my friends. All right, let me get back over to this thing so I can see what's going on. All right, let me get rid of this white screen. And that is for you brand new people, babypips.com. They have a ton of information as far as technical terms, and then they give you descriptive definitions of what constitutes those technical terms. All right, so let's go over here to the orange list, because this is the only list that I am worried about this week. So Cad Yen, you are testing your 50 spot on the RSI. So basically this pullback that's been happening on Cad Yen for the last couple weeks is just that. It is just a pullback. You are not looking for any kind of massive selling pressure until you get a break of 90 spot 029, as that is your support level down there. You can see that boom, bullish push. So you're coming back in to test it. If you take out this low of this bullish candle and get a daily closure below 90 spot 029, then you can possibly look for short side setups. Only then, all right? And in order to keep that current short side setup bias, you may not close a daily candle above 90 spot 395. If you get a daily close above that level, you are no longer looking for short side setups, as this trend is extremely bullish and is just pulling back. Any divergences in this from here to here has already played out. All right, already played out. So you do have divergence. No, you do not. Oh, yes, you do. There's your high, there's your lower high. So you do currently have divergence right there and right there. But however, like I just said, this is your divergence playing out, and you can see how it didn't go anywhere. This is only to be looked at as a pullback until you get a daily closure below that support level. That support level is 90 spot 029, and only then you would be looking for short side setups on a retest of 90 spot 395 and a daily close below that level. If the daily closes just beneath that level, you can look for the next day or two for this to break. All right. If it's going to remain short, you will probably get a wick up to that area and then immediately reversed in price to the downside. That's how you know if you're on the right side of the market or not, depending on how price reacts around that level. S&P 500, we are not looking to short the S&P 500. It is making all-time highs. Yes, there's divergence on the chart. That does not matter. I was looking for this. When this happened, I was looking for a pullback in the price around this level right here to possibly look for short side setups. That did not play out. It did not play out. It was sell in May, go away, or sell in May, go away. So I was expecting a little bit of sideways to down price action. It did not occur. You broken out above the new or the last all-time high. This thing is extremely bullish. Do not look for short side setups on the S&P 500. You are only looking for longs. Where are a couple good areas to watch for those long setups? Well, for right now, let's say 42.26 spot 40. If you get a push back down into that level, as long as you are not closing daily or at least 8-hour candles below that price, you could possibly look for bullish setups. This thing is extremely extended to the upside. I do not like buying these kinds of assets, as you are possibly going to see some exhaustion risk. However, this was what exhaustion risk looks like, and you can see that it did play out already. So this might have been its second wind or third wind or fourth, because this thing has been doing absolutely nothing but going straight up since the March sell-off back in 2020. All right. So not looking for anything on S&P 500. USD JPY looks like it is trying, or it has created another bullish trend. It has not gotten me any setups that I've liked, so I have not been able to enter this to the bullish side. I do like it long, but like I said, it's been trading below supports, closing below supports and stuff like that. This was the last push we had, but I wasn't paying attention to it last week. You can see that it looks like you found support right here at this last bullish up close candle, which was resistance until it was broken. So you came in and retested that, and you are resuming away from it. So that was the setup. I did not take it. I was not paying attention to it. If you are looking for bullish setups on this asset, what you want to see is a pullback into support again. You do not want to buy this right here, as this had a lot of momentum coming into that support. And if you look at, you've been trading 4 days in a row. This was 2 days. So you had a lot more bearish momentum coming into the support than you do have bullish momentum leaving the support. So I'm not quite convinced just yet. I would definitely want to see another push to the upside, take out this resistance, and then maybe I would look for pullback entries to get long on the USD JPY. US oil, there's nothing to do. It is going straight up. All right, straight up. This thing is just disgusting. Nothing to do. You're not looking for shorts. You are not looking for longs. You must get a decent sized pullback. Something like this, that's a decent sized pullback. Even 2 big range bearish candles will be a decent sized pullback. Yeah, it's just you're buying highs. So there is a chance for exhaustion risk. We already covered Euro, USD, USD CAD. USD CAD is forming a rounded bottom, just like the DXY is. Canadian dollar has been on an absolute tear because of oil. So that has added into the short side pressure on this asset. As long as Canadian dollar is extremely strong and as long as the US dollar is extremely weak, well, this is what it looks like. That's what happens. So basically, you may be looking possibly for a bottom down here on this asset. So let's get rid of all the drawings and start over. Here was your last resistance. You can see Friday you pushed up into that resistance. You are currently testing that resistance right now. I do expect this resistance to break. May not break today, but I do expect it to break. All right, so what you can possibly look for is a pullback into support. These bearish these bullish candles right here are all very close together. So, I mean, you're going to have like 4 intraday levels to watch just because of that. So what I do in those circumstances is I go right back to the last bullish candle right before the breakout. I want to see a test of that level. If it trades all the way down to there and maintains closing candles above that level on at least a 4-hour, as that will be your intraday chart, then I might be looking for bullish setups on this, but I will only be targeting that resistance and that wick high. I am not looking for a complete trend reversal on this asset just yet, because like I said, fundamentally the dollar is extremely bearish. And then Aussie Cad is the last one I got for tonight. You are trading into resistance. Give me 1 second as I've lost my mic because my computer is lagged up. There it is. All right, excuse me. So here's your last daily resistance. You can see for almost a solid week, you tested that area as resistance. You were unable to break it. I am looking for a break. So since you put in these lows, these 3 lows right here, what I would probably wait on for a long entry on this asset is for a push down to 0.93299, and I would absolutely love to see a wick down below this bullish candle's low, as that would be a stop run. And then I want to see an immediately rejection out of that area. If you do not immediately withdraw from that wick low once you take it out, if you take it out, then I no longer like it for bullish setups, as this was sold back into. Your trend is down, everything is down, but this thing has been so massively, it's just been trading sideways. So, I mean, technically, I guess you could call that a form of bullish divergence, because you're making lower lows and lower highs on the chart, and this thing basically is going sideways. All right. So you are coming back into that 50 spot. So I do not like to take longs right in that, because you are in a primo area for short side setups as well. So I might give Aussie CAD and USD CAD another week or two to basically establish that new trend. And with that being said, let's go check out the chat. Yo, Heath, what's up? What's happening? Sup, people? Finally got you live. Welcome, K4 Liberty. I'm glad you could make it. Hit the likes on the way in, y'all. Yep, Potatoes 730. Thank you very much for that. If you wouldn't mind smashing that like button, obviously it would be fantastic. Dan J says, good morning, fam. So he must be on the other side of the earth, because it is evening here. BTC going higher, probably. I am expecting just a tad bit of continuation, because so many people were shorting it. It's as simple as that. I'm trying to scroll down on the chat. What's up, Janet Swift? Hey folks, good day for BTC today. Let's turn that resistance into support and let's go to the beach. I like it, Felipe. Buffering, yeah, I am dropping a ton of frames and people are bouncing, so I am assuming it is terrible this evening. I can only apologize for that. The trend line that you drew on pound USD, are you counting the break as a data point? I thought at least 3 data points are needed. Sam CS, no, sir. Basically, all right, so let's go back. That's a quarterly chart, by the way. You do have 3 data points. High, 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 right there. You are hitting your 3rd test. You can clearly see from high to high that this thing last quarter held as resistance on the log chart only. This is why I don't use trend lines often, is because they are extremely subjective. They are extremely subjective in the way other traders place them, and they are extremely subjective as in just by switching off the log, your trend line has already been broken, has already been retested, and has already moving back to the upside. So trend lines are subjective any way you want to cut it. So what I tend to go, basically I was just bringing this to the forefront to let you know that, hey, you may get a break above, a close above on a quarterly basis. This thing may be changing its long-term trend. You may be getting some bullish price action out of the pound for the next half a year into next year. If you rejected this trend line on log, you get like a quarterly taken out, this quarter's low and last quarter's low, then you can look for bearish setups as the trend has been down. And that's it. It's as simple as that. I will be watching that quarterly line right there, as if we get a weekly break below that, close below that, and we are unable to get back above that on a weekly basis, then I will assume that that trend line, this would be a false break and you are heading lower. However, that is not what I am looking for. I am looking for the pound to continue higher. Look for this thing to come down, put in a support test at around 1.40, 129, and then see what happens. I do not have a crystal ball, obviously. I don't know that it's going to work. That's just what I'm looking at. That's just what I'm looking for. Stop being a tightwad and use your profits to build a better PC, right? The problem is I just bought this freaking thing. So now I got to go buy another one, I guess. Hey Heath, would you mind doing a trade recap on the Cad Yen short from Tuesday? I didn't take a short on Cad Yen Tuesday, my friend. Let me go over here and look and see what you're talking about. Did I post a Cad Yen trade short on Tuesday? I don't remember it. I'm just scrolling through some posted trades. Yeah, I don't see that, Potatoes. I'm not quite sure what you're referring to. Yeah, all the charts I see over here and I'm well beyond last Tuesday on the date, so not quite sure what you're talking about. If you're taking a request, DXY, please. Yeah, I did take a quick look at DXY. It looks like it's forming a low down here. Okay, but this is the thing. Like I said, DXY fundamentally is extremely bearish. But if you got enough people short on this asset and nobody long, if this thing does start to catch a bid, it will get a short squeeze at least up into your 91 spot to 98 level, right? You can see last week you got a nice bullish close above your weekly resistance, which would have been this bullish candle, as that was your last bullish candle. You can see how you tested it, failed last week. Boom, there's your break above, close above. So this week you could get a lower push down to 90 spot 304 in a weekly time frame. So like Tuesday, Wednesday, if you're trading down in around that area, you may start to see some buying pressure start to kick back up in this asset. All right, your next level to look for resistance will be 90 spot 832, and that's on a weekly basis. So those two prices right there gives you more than enough data that you need for this week's weekly range expansion. Bitcoin played as you suspected, Heath, waiting for the retest now. Yep, that's what we gotta wait on, Mickey Rat. Absolutely, my friend. You cannot buy when you're breaking out. You gotta wait for those support tests. Hey Heath, hope you had a great weekend. Could you take a look at Aussie dollar and then the USD yen? I did look at the USD yen, so since I'm so far back behind on the chat, I will go ahead and take a look at the Aussie yen for you. Absolutely. All right, so it's been trading sideways. Those are daily levels, and you can see how they're all conglomerated. This thing was on a massive rip to the upside. And on the weekly, I mean, this could still just be nothing more than a bull flag, right? Because there's your flagpole right there, and it's just putting in that thing. It could also be looked at kind of sort of like an ascending wedge, which has the adverse reaction as to what you're seeing on Bitcoin right now. An ascending wedge tends to break out to the downside, like descending wedges tend to break out to the upside. You did get a weekly close below that. There's your 1 point touch, 1 point touch. You traded below it on this week, but obviously caught a bid. Last week, you basically closed right on it. So this week, what you will be looking for, you could simply look for a wick up to 84 spot 734. And as long as you find resistance at that spot, as long as you are not closing a daily candle back above it, that would be a fantastic spot to maybe look for a short side setup. With that in mind, or keep this in mind, apologies, I got ahead of myself. You have not taken out daily support yet. You did take out this support, but I like this one down here better, right? And you can see you traded down into it Friday, but you clearly closed back above. So if you do take this short, right, you also have a massive wick up there. So like your stop loss would be terrible. right? So I don't necessarily like the short side setup on it just yet. I definitely want to see this thing get some daily closes below daily support levels, as that would give me more, that would make me a little bit more bearish on it. Just for the near term, guys, I am talking about simply for next week's range expansion. That is it. Nothing beyond that. I am looking for a weekly range expansion next week on one of these assets. All right? You can see how tight and small these weekly ranges have been. So I am looking for a retest of support and possibly a weekly range expansion to the downside. You do have resistance right there. If you get a couple dailies closing above 84 spot 734, you may be heading higher. And there is a fantastic bullish target right up there. Right up there. This thing has not been able to take out support, even on a weekly. Here's your last bullish close before you got your break above it. You came back in and retested it, but it is still holding as support. 84,215. That's going to be a very, very big area. You got to get below that. Got to get below that on a weekly closing basis. Then it would look a lot better for near-term short side setups, right? So right now you're just wedging up. So if you want to be very, very, very cautious, wait till you get the breakout above or below, and then look for retest entries. Thanks again, says Brandon Lamb. You are welcome. Hey Heath, UNFI was bullish. Could you check it again? UNFI was bullish. Everything is going to get a bounce with Bitcoin right now. UNFI. Let's go look at it versus Tether. Here's your weekly. You got 1 hour and 27 minutes left on this weekly. You did take out weekly support. Let's get rid of all these lines. This does not look bullish at all. If you close here or lower, you will have taken out weekly support at 9 spot 182. That's not bullish. You're going the wrong way for this to be bullish. For something to be bullish, it has to be making higher highs and higher lows. Here is another higher high. There's another higher low. Another higher high. That's bullish price action. This, my friend, is bearish price action. And that's a weekly. So for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18 weeks, you've been going straight down. Not bullish. Alright, so if you get a close below this, can this be a fake out? Absolutely. Absolutely. It could be a bear trap. So watch that level on a daily closing basis. It is a weekly level. So if you want to put a little bit more confidence in it, watch this daily Heath level at 9 spot 358, as that level is a daily level. So if you get a daily close above this area of possible resistance, then and only then could you possibly look for bullish entries on this asset. You have not taken out daily support yet, though. Even though you are taking out weekly support on a closing basis, you have not taken out daily support on a closing basis. All right? So I'm not extremely bearish on it. I am not looking for bearish setups on it. You are at support. You do not short support, right? So can you get a bullish pop out of here? Absolutely you can. But it's not bullish. Not by any stretch of the imagination. On the RSI, that is your momentum oscillator, you are trading firmly below 50 on a daily closing basis. That is the bearish control zone. If you go over here and look at your moving averages on a daily, you barely have enough data on this asset to populate a 200 exponential moving average, but there it is, that purple line, 20, 50, 100. You have already, had you had enough price action on this asset, gotten a dead cross or death cross, whatever you want to call it, on your moving averages. When has an asset with a brand new death cross ever been bullish? Never. Not that I know of. But yeah, my friend, I'm sorry. I know you want it to be bullish. It just isn't. There is no indicator alive that will tell you that this asset is bullish. Can it get bullish from here? Absolutely. But please wait on those resistance levels to get breached to the upside on daily closing bases. Then you can look for near-term price action, a low to find support for possible bullish entries. Until that, man, this thing is getting crushed. I'm sorry. What's up, Heath? You're fine being late, Jay Bradley. It's all good. I'm glitching up. Bad internet. Everything's terrible tonight. But we're pushing through. But I just ordered an orange Lambo. Yeah, I feel you. Narwhal talking. You should have got a green one, bro. That was your problem. You bought an orange one. That's where you screwed up. Hi Heath, can you check BO or BQX USD Voyager daily, weekly? Thanks for the TA. You are welcome, my friend. Let's go look at it. I have to say this. I don't know anything about this asset. BQX. And you said USD, right? Yeah, USD. I don't see it. So maybe you did a typo. Is it BOX maybe? It says DeFi box tether. I'm not sure what you're asking for. I can't even pronounce your name. I apologize. Khalil is your last name. I don't know what you're asking for. Unfortunately, I can't find it. So we'll go ahead and do this one, and maybe this is it. But you clearly said it was called Voyager, and this says DeFi box. But this is looking like most other crypto assets. If Bitcoin is the tide that lifts all boats, when it gets bullish pops in price, you will see that on the majority of crypto assets. And you are getting that on Bitcoin right now. A nice big bullish breakout of that descending wedge formation. We've been watching that thing for a while now, and you finally got a breakout above it. So I do expect some bullish price action on most, if not all, crypto assets. The problem is you have to watch the asset that you're looking at has to clearly get some breaks above resistance levels. Here's your first one on this one at 12.78. You got another one right above you at roughly 13.38. Daily close above those two bullish candles, and you will have successfully gotten a daily close above resistance. And then you can possibly look for pullback entries. Do you think Sailor will be, Sean King says at Trade Talk, do you think Sailor will be market buying in small amounts over the next week, or will it be all OTC? To be honest with you, I do not know his financial plan. Like, he hasn't shared his strategy to me, so I can't really say what I think he may be doing. I'm assuming Michael Saylor has bought and he is in it for the long haul. I do not think he is selling Bitcoin, and I do not think he is FOMO buying right now either. You know what I mean? He has a lot of smart people working for him. He has a lot of financial people working for him. I'm sure they are all keeping a close eye on his entries. But I cannot speculate on what those entries will be. Apologies, my friend. So much bullying news coming up. Even if it drops massively after that bump, there will be a massive buy pressure down there at 30K. It's possible, Felipe. It is possible. Oh, I just lost the chat. There we go. Yeah, all right, perfect. There I am. What's going on? He says, Will, what's up, my friend? Thank you for the stream being late, so need to skip around to see what's what, but always good source of information. Smash the like. Thank you very much, my friend, Mr. Vizzle. I'm trying to keep a track of my mouse, but this computer is lagging up. Oh, what happened, my friend? Crypto Trades and Tech is on vacation this weekend. Have a great time, Brandon. Fantastic. Vacation's always good, my friend. Could you look at the US 30, please? Yeah, let's go get a quick look at it. And let me see real quick. Let me just check something. Alright, so it seems to be holding for now. Alright. Yeah, you said... Alright, let me look at the UK 100 and then I'll try to pull up BQX again, but I tried to pull it up. It did not do nothing. Here it is. Watch. BQX. BQX. There it is. Got you. Alright, and then I'll get to the US 100. Apologies. I wonder why I didn't pull up a while ago. Maybe it was I just wasn't paying attention. It's trading in a range. You've held support. The last lowest close that I see is this candle right there, and you've held that as a close so far. You've tested it again. This is what you want to see, but like I said, Bitcoin being the tide, you have taken out this bearish candle's high. That's good. That's what you want to see, but you immediately don't want to see selling pressure come back into this thing. The problem with this, the difference between this and Bitcoin, like I said earlier on the last asset, is it's below resistance still, right? So this will be a selling opportunity in a lot of people's eyes. You need to get a daily break above that level at 7079. You need that before you can look for bullish entries. As like I said, any push up into that will be looked at as a selling opportunity. So let's go back over here to Bitcoin. I understand Bitcoin is in a bearish trend, but you see what you've done. You've broken above resistance. This daily closes in an hour. So is there a high likelihood that this daily candle is going to be closing above resistance? Yeah, it looks like it. In fact, you're testing a higher resistance already. So there's 2 resistance levels and you are at the upper echelon. So this is strength. Plus you have this low down here and you just took out this swing high. That's your higher high. This is your higher low. So on the near term, you are starting a trend change. But remember, trend changes do not mean trend continuation. They just mean in the near term, you have a technical trend change. BQX has not got that yet. Will it get it if Bitcoin keeps going higher? Probably. Then I would be watching it. US 100. What did you say exactly what that was? US 30. On Oanda. So you're still, yeah, kind of, sort of. That's an old level, but that was your resistance. Here was your breakout. Let's get rid of this line so as I'm not confusing anybody. This was your resistance right there, the closing price of that bullish candle. There is your breakout. Big, strong, bullish push up in and above, and a nice, strong close above. Then there you have 2 days coming back down to retest the old resistance, now support. Boom, bullish push up. The problem is you got a lot of a wick. That's not what you want to see. What you want to see is a close above this section of price. You did not get that. Another wick up, then selling pressure, then boom, there's your close, and then instantly it was sold into. So this is very difficult to trade, to say the very least. To say the very least, you are back down there testing that level as support once again. Let me slow down. Maybe my mouse will stay put. So you are testing it as support once again. I would say that this level may break in the next day or two. I don't see anything clear, right? Because the ranges are small. The daily ranges are small in comparison to these candles over here. So, right? Resistance right up there. Test, test. This could be a pullback. Maybe you catch support here. If the S&P 500 keeps going higher, I would assume this probably will catch a bid as well. There really isn't nothing to do on it though. Like, you're trading at near all-time highs. I don't like buying assets that are at all-time highs. It's just my rules. Heath, can you look at the UK 100, please? Yeah, let's go look at UK 100. On Oanda, the reason I like to look at the UK 100s and the US 30s and the US 100s and the S&P 500 on Oanda is there is no gaps, as these are 24-hour trading markets because it is a CFD market. We can't trade CFDs in America, but it gives you nice, beautiful, perfect price action. So this was where we were looking for a pullback into. to see if it found support. It clearly found it. You did get a wick below that level, but you got a nice big close right back above it, even above its high. That's indicative of bullishness, right? So a next push down, that's your entry generally. All right, you are getting bullish continuation off of it. If this is Friday's candle, which it is, you did get a daily closure above resistance, but you are coming into more no, you got a daily closure above that resistance as well. So are you looking to buy it right now? No. Why? Because it's a breakout. You're not looking to buy breakouts. You're looking to buy support tests. Look for a support test around 7107 spot 60. That would be the first area that I'd keep my eye on. 7106 spot 80. Apologies. Get a pullback into there as long as you are not closing 8-hour candles below that level. That's at the minimum because this is a daily level. Then you may be looking for continuation to the upside. Keep in mind that it is all-time highs. Maybe. No, it isn't. All right. I'm glad I said maybe because I didn't want to look like an idiot. I don't trade this asset. I don't know what it is, so I don't trade it. So I don't keep an eye on it. Maybe I should, but I do just fine not watching it. You got a quarterly level way up there. That could be what it's aiming for. The quarterly is bullish as crap. You got 16 days left on this quarter, and you are trading at the highs of the quarter. Last 3 quarters were extremely bullish. So there may be a pullback incoming on this asset. Keep that in mind when looking for long positions up here. All right. And Tran says, where Lambo? It's in the garage, my friend. BQXUSD. I did find it on Binance, so I'm glad I was able to help you, my friend. I have no idea what that is. I've never traded it or heard of it. Thank you, Heath. This is great content, and you are naturally funny at times. Thank you so much, K4 Liberty. I really appreciate the compliment. Andre Broussard says, what's up, Heath? Hope you're having a great weekend. I am, my friend. I am getting ready to go throw some meat on the grill. Go throw some meat on the grill. It's a fantastic weekend. In your free time, would love to have your opinion on new Alessio Rastani video. Markets are on the edge of a cliff. Will this sell signal trigger? Hope that is not why we are having a rally on Bitcoin. This is I'll just go ahead and say this. I don't know the guy personally. I am not subscribed to many YouTube traders. I have watched many of their videos, and I have not found many that I want to go back and watch more of their videos, if that makes sense. A lot of those guys are internet marketers. They're not traders. They can talk the walk, or they can talk the talk and walk the walk, but the problem is you don't know for a fact, right? You don't know for a fact. Is he selling courses? Is he selling this? Is he selling that? If so, then chances are he's not a trader. You know what I'm saying? Traders don't need to sell stuff, kind of, sort of, right? If they're a professional trader, why do they need to sell courses? But I don't say that's bad about everybody. Like I said, I don't know many of them. I don't know who he is, and I don't know what you're asking me. If they are a good person, if you know them, you know what I'm saying, and they put out good info, and I'll say it like Jordan says it, follow those who have a tendency of being right, all right? If they're right more often than they're wrong, then I see no problem with watching them. As far as are the markets on a cliff? Well, yeah, I mean, you could technically say that because they're trading at all-time highs. I don't know what else to say. Here's the S&P 500, right? You're trading at all-time highs, my friend. So is it on a cliff? They've been saying that this thing's been on a cliff ever since 35.42 when this happened. Oh yeah, the markets are gonna crash. 3,500. Then when 3,000 came in the mix, the markets are gonna crash. Blah blah blah. Here was your old all-time high before the March liquidity crisis. They've been calling for a crash ever since. This is log. Watch how bad this looks when I take it off log. Oh, it doesn't look nearly as bad as I thought it was going to. Okay, never mind. It's at all-time highs. Oh, yeah, it does. There it is. See? Way worse. There is when the markets were going to crash. All these red candles, every single one of them, market crasher people have been calling a crash. So you're wrong. Will they be right up here? Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. Just stick around to this channel, man. I will let you know when I am looking to sell this thing. I promise. I promise. People that know me close, people that trade with me every single day, they know that I know what I'm talking about. This thing just broke out of all-time highs. Can it roll over? Yep. Why would you expect that to happen? There is no need for it, no reason for it. You got a nice push back down below the 50 spot on the RSI with this massive push down coinciding with this right here. Then you traded back above your bullish control zone. You came back in for a retest of your bullish control zone. You are moving away from the 50 spot on your bullish control zone. This thing could go all the way back up to oversold again, and you could see prices up at 4,500 bucks. You're wrong if you're calling a top. If you get a top, then you can look for short side setups. But right now, it's bullish, and it is in a bullish trend. Hopefully it continues, because these things coincide with Bitcoin as well. Yes, there is a little bit of separation for Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is a risk-on asset. S&P 500 is a risk-on asset. As long as there is risk on in the markets, it can only help Bitcoin. If you get a massive risk-off environment, which that doesn't happen in one day, it takes a month or 3 to be able to consider an environment risk-off, then you can look for shorting this. Heath, what are your thoughts of buying Bitcoin spot? I like it, Carlos. This is the thing I'm going to say. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, but what I will tell you, my friend, is I buy spot Bitcoin, but I buy it with an amount of money that doesn't hurt or that doesn't kill me or won't wreck me if I'm wrong, right? So I don't know what your financial position is in life, but what I currently think and what I believe, and I don't have any inside information on this, I just believe it, that Bitcoin is going to be much, much higher in the next 10 to 15 years, unless obviously a catastrophic event happens. So what's wrong with buying a little bit here and there, here and there? If you want, you can implement a strategy kind of sort of like what I do. I trade other crypto assets. I don't trade Bitcoin. Will I trade Bitcoin if I think the top is in? Yes, I will, right? But right now, I'm only buying it, and I am still buying it. I buy red weeks. Every red weekly close, I buy Bitcoin. A little bit, right? Not a lot, no leverage, just straight up cash. Straight cash on the Bitcoin. And I suggest, yeah, that might not be a bad idea, right? I mean, I don't know where it's going to go. So if you just figure out what you make a week, figure out how much money you can afford to spend, and if you look at it like this is money, I'm just balling it up and throwing it away, buy Bitcoin with it, and just forget about it, and just keep doing it. If Bitcoin stays doing what it's been doing for the last 15 years, in 10 years, you're going to be in fantastic shape. That's all I'm looking at. I'm looking at past price action. Bitcoin's been going straight up for 15 years. But people try to buy it with too much money. People try to buy it with leverage. People are trying to get rich, and those people get hurt. As long as you're buying it responsibly within your financial means, you will be fine buying it anywhere. Sorry. I'm trying to get control back of my mouse. I added another monitor, so maybe that's what's causing my computer to go crazy. Maybe all the other monitors it had was too much for it already, and the new one just crushed it. That's the only thing I've changed, so I just bought that today. I'll just go get a computer tomorrow, maybe. Heath, oh, wait. Who this is? Oh, who is this? That's Jody Toys. Heath, I'm a bit behind on the stream, but you keep saying hidden bearish divergence of Bitcoin, but it's just bullish divergence as far as I can tell. Price is trending down, RSI is trending up. Mr. Tom, thank you for asking that question. As the last video I put out today, People are asking the same thing. So let's go ahead over here. I did do this earlier on in the stream, but I'll go ahead and do it again. So let's do this. Hidden bearish divergence. The screen is not moving, so I hope I did not lose it. Dropping a lot of frames. Okay, there it is. All right, so hidden bearish divergence. Let's go see what we got. There you go, babypits.com. And let's scroll down. Let's see what they say about hidden bearish divergence. The main... Come on. This is ridiculous. Just the lag on the PC. That's not it. Just give me a second. I'm trying to get down there to it, but my computer's having a hard time keeping up with me. I should have shut that other monitor off before I started the stream, but I didn't know that this would happen. Hidden bearish divergence. See, this is the key with hidden bearish divergence. It's when price is making lower highs and the lows are consistent, right? The lows are consistent. You're not making lower lows. You're only making lower highs. Then when your oscillator is making higher highs, so if we go back over here to the chart, let's go back on the daily, and I will show you what I'm talking about. This is a lesson for everybody who doesn't understand what hidden bearish divergence is. So here is Bitcoin's price action. Once you made the capitulation wick low, you have only made higher lows. Now this low is entailed with this low, but it still isn't lower than this low right here. That is the important aspect of hidden bearish divergence. You aren't making lower lows on price, you are only making lower highs. And on the oscillator, you are making higher highs and higher lows. That is bearish or hidden bearish divergence. When you have bullish divergence, your price will be making lower highs as well as lower lows. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And then the oscillator is moving up. That's bullish divergence. And vice versa for a downtrend, right? Or an uptrend. If price is moving up, making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, but the oscillator is making lower highs and lower lows, that's bearish divergence. Hidden divergence is lower highs only. Okay? If the lows are not being made, if you are not making lower lows, that is hidden divergence. That's the difference between divergences. And babypits.com, they are not paying me for this. I am not advertising it. It's just a great tool for new traders, beginner traders, so that way they can get their technical terms in check. It's a pretty good site, I've heard. I can't guarantee it, but I've heard it is. All right, chicken and thighs, or chicken and sausage on the grill as we speak. Thanks for the download of wisdom today. You are welcome. And I think I am going to wrap it up since I am having so much problems. The internet is terrible. The computer is terrible. I will get it all situated, guys. Just give me time. Probably go get a new PC here in a few days or so. I just bought this one, so maybe it's something I can do. Maybe I can clean it up or defrag it or something. But before I go, I must always say thank you so much for the channel members and Patreons. You guys absolutely rock. We had a fantastic live stream this morning for channel members and Patreons. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. The respect that you give to me, absolutely appreciated. Thank you so much. For the rest of you, we did break out on Bitcoin, so we are not FOMOing in, are we? No, we are not. We are going to let this bullish close on a nice strong note today. We are going to wait for tomorrow and see if we get some more bullish continuation. Then we will wait for a pullback. I'm looking for a pullback at least to $37,400, as that is your old bullish candle's closing price. That was resistance. As long as that holds as support on a daily closing basis, we may be talking about getting long on Bitcoin. However, it is just Sunday. I will put out another live stream Tuesday morning, and I will give you my thoughts, and I will keep you on the train with me as we go. Right now, it's a wait and see. It's a wait and see. But yes, it is fantastic to see this thing breaking out just like we were looking for it to do today. So there it is. Boom. Lovely. Loving it. You might see some bullish continuation. You might do it. So give it a day or two, guys. With that being said, make sure you guys trade safe. Trade smart. Thank you for being here. Happy trading, everybody.